The Joe Rogan Experience.
What you guys do is awesome. I love your music, but I feel you're like, I just want you to do it. You know, just when there's little contests and this is #1 and this one wins this and this is the band of the year and the album of the year, like says who and why is it a contest? Can't it just be this is awesome shit? Here's some different awesome shit.
That's why we didn't. That's why we didn't bundle.
That was the whole motivation behind this record. Was like, it was to not partake in the current bullshit in the music industry, which is, so check this out. Do you mind if I explain it?
Please do.
Okay. We had a conversation with our manager about this record, right? You know, release. It went from everything like, we have family. We don't really want to be on the road for 100 days this year. We don't necessarily want to do anything. We don't want to do anything we're not excited about. You know, so it came down to the promotion and stuff, and it was like, we want to get in front of people and play our songs and have fun, you know, and the conversation came up with about the actual album, like Warner Brothers was interested if we wanted to bundle it, which is when you include the record like with a ticket, right? And a lot of people have been doing it, whether you buy a t-shirt and you get a record and it's a digital download link. And I was like, well, how does that work? And I'm like, well, you would give $5 from each ticket back to Warner Brothers, and then you would get a record sale. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me and to Dan. And they're like, yeah, I know. Well, it's the only way you're gonna get a #1 record. So if you want a #1 record, you got to do that. And I was like, well, so it's 1-to-1. Like, we give $5 back, and then we get a royalty, and we get a ticket sale. And like, no, you don't get a royalty, and you only get an album sale count if they click the link, and we have a 50% click through. So in other words, we would pay $10 per sale on Nielsen SoundScan by giving the money back that we've sold on tickets to Warner Brothers, to our record label. I was like, fuck that. Fuck that shit. At this point,
that is a crazy deal.
Check it out. We've sold 250,000 tickets on this tour. So we would give back 1.25 million. Our record advance for this record was less than that. I was like, if Dan and I were just on our own record label, we could give ourselves $5 per ticket and count, and we just take the money from the right hand to the left hand, give you a link. If you counted it, we get the sale, we keep the money. That's basically what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean? And it's all based on fear. Like, all of this shit. It's like, do you want to be relevant? You know, that's basically the conversation that is basically being had. Not that direct, but it's like, as an artist, you better try to get good numbers, get that first week up there. And Dan and I were basically like, fuck that. Fuck it. It doesn't even fucking matter. People are going to come to the shows, or they're not going to come to the shows. We're going to make records. People are going to buy them, or they're not going to buy them. And I think that it's detrimental to the music industry, like to pay too close attention to certain metrics, man. It's like the whole system right now with these majors is like signing shit that has the most social media interaction, the most streaming. And I was like, you know what? When I was 9 years old, I bought Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby. And I listened to that shit, like, I'm not joking, like 250 times in a week, like a fucking idiot. Like, that's who's listening to this shit. That's getting 1 billion streams in a month. It's like fucking 9-year-old morons. It's like, I like to think that our fans have, like, you know, they got like 150 albums that they listen to on a sort of rotation, at least, and ours may be one of them a month. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a different fucking audience. You know what I mean? You look at Instagram and you see these certain people who I've never even heard their music. They have like 10 million followers. Yeah.
The weird thing is that there would be any comparison at all. Like, why bother comparing?
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. But that's the problem, is that there are two different things at play here. There's the music industry itself, which is like, certain people who work in the industry, high ups, are like, we need to sell records. We need like this pop producer to work with this writer and this artist, and we need streaming numbers. And then there's certain people, you know, like the old guard, like the Lenny Waronker or Seymour Stein, or even lots of younger guys too. But they're like, actually, what we're doing is curating art that we really like, and it's either going to sell or it's not going to sell. And a lot of the records that we grew up listening to, most of them, were records made by these kind of insanely eccentric, weirdo people that never sold records, but have literally changed our lives. And like Captain Beefheart being one of them. Tom Waits has sold some records, but still, like, it's a much different type of commercial viable thing. But these artists are why we make music. It has nothing to do with this shit. It's like the difference between like the Vogues, you know what I mean, and like the Fugs. It's like there's a lot of these comparisons that you can make about what we do. And our place in the music industry is to do what we do. And for a while, we were taking part in like the mainstream aspects of music. We were playing like the MTV Movie Awards and having these insane, weird experiences only because we hadn't done it before. We felt like we had to do it. And I wouldn't change anything. But at this point, like, I think steering as far away from all of that shit is what we want to do right now.
Yeah, there's no reason to lump you in with anything. Like, why would any, that's one of the weird things about these award shows, right? You're lumping all these different musicians together that don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. No. Just all make music.
Well, check it out. It's like we played the MTV Movie Awards in 2012. We got offered to do it. We watched it when we were kids. We were in LA already. It was like, whatever. Aerosmith came out and introduced us. And now I'm thinking, like, why would they agree to be on the MTV Music Awards? Like, what are they going to get from that or whatever? The whole thing was kind of bizarre. It's all really bizarre. It's like they need to be in the spotlight or something, and we're just like, I think we kind of realized how goofy it was while we were there. But we got an insane experience because we were hanging out with Johnny Depp and Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. And this is crazy because after we do this song or whatever, we're out backstage by the trailers, and I like see Steven Tyler and Joe Perry and Johnny Depp talking, and we walk over because we just want to see what they're talking about. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this shit. They're all wearing the craziest accessories. Like, they're dressed up like, archetypes of rock stars or whatever. And they're like talking about, and Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are talking about how they're going to get their arsenal across state lines. And I was like, what? Like yeah, man, we travel with a goddamn arsenal. I was like, what? Like, yeah, and AR-15s. We have fucking grenades. I was like, this is insane, man.
Oh my God.
I think it's worth it. We're here today just to hear that these guys feel like they need to travel with grenades.